70,000 government IDs, that's driver's licenses, passports, whatever, to comply with the UK's new age verification law and Australia's upcoming one. Because think of the children. Cybersecurity experts said this from the start. I said it from the start. This was going to happen. I told you, this was not a matter of if, but when. Well, when is now. It's worse than a password breach, worse than getting your credit card details. This is the most devastating thing that can happen to someone, is identity theft. This is very much a worst case scenario. Millions of people who are now at serious risk of the absolute worst cyber attack that can happen to someone, all because of governments. You can't rely on governments to protect you. They can't and won't. Government wants websites to have your IDs. What could possibly go wrong? I predicted a long time ago what exactly could go wrong, but it's inevitable. Sooner or later, one of these databases, with everyone having pictures of their IDs, it's going to get compromised. It's not a question of if, but when. And it's exactly this. It just happened with Discord. 70,000 government IDs. That's driver's licenses, passports, whatever. And this can be absolutely devastating. It can be catastrophic for people. This is very much a worst case scenario. On October 3rd, 2025, Discord reported that hackers had compromised one of its third-party customer service and support providers. So even if you say, okay, websites don't need to do it on their own, there can be special corporations for this. Well, that's what this was. And they were relying on them to keep it secure, and they didn't. They stole at least 70,000 images of government-issued IDs, such as passports or driver's licenses, used for age verification. That bit where they say, take a picture of yourself with your ID. Let's see all your identifying information so we can make sure it's you. Because think of the children. They also got other sensitive information, including names, Discord usernames, email addresses, contact details, messages and conversation transcripts with support agents, billing and payment metadata, IP addresses, and limited corporate data. Fortunately, they did not get full credit card numbers and security codes, messages or activity on Discord beyond what users may have discussed with customer support, and passwords or authentication data. But the thing is, as bad as password breaches are, and as bad as them getting your credit card information is, you can deal with that. You can change your password. And you can, I've had to do this, a lot of people have to do this nowadays, had to call your credit card company and say, hey, someone's got my credit card and they're going through Vegas and they're having a wonderful time spending my money in Vegas. And they can undo all the bogus transactions and send you a new card, and that means you got to change your credit card number everywhere, and it's a pain, but at least you can deal with it. If they get your government ID, they can do a lot worse. So compromising your account, you can deal with. What if they use your information to make a new account in your name? And then they run up that credit card. And then all of a sudden, this credit card company you never dealt with is coming after you. And all these debt collectors are coming after you. And you're like, what are you talking about? I've never even been to Vegas. Or it can be worse. People have completely impersonated someone else for the purpose of committing crimes in their names. Then they get convicted and they run. Now they're coming after you. They say, hey, you're a fugitive from justice. You're a convicted felon. And they grab you and take you to prison. No, you've already had your day in court. You've already been convicted, and they've had to go into, no, I need to go in front of a judge and say, look, this is not me. You got the wrong guy. That's a difficult thing to deal with. One big reason they do a lot of this is illegal aliens who need identification. So they give them fake IDs and fake social security card numbers, and that might be yours if it's in a breach. And then they're living their life as you. And again, if they're running up debts, guess who the debt collector is going to come to? Going to come to you. They commit crimes. Guess who the police come to? They come to you. Or even if not, even if they're just a guy just trying to get by in the world and He's using your identification, but he's just kind of working. But he's not paying taxes because illegals don't pay taxes. Guess who the IRS is coming to? The IRS is coming to you, and that's a much bigger deal, isn't it? Or this has happened before. That person has died. And now all of a sudden, you find yourself cut off from everything. All of your accounts are shut down. Your entire life is shut down. Why? Everyone says you're dead. What? You gotta go into court and prove you're not dead, which you would think would be an easy thing to do. Just show up and say, hi, look at me, I'm alive. I've covered it in the past. Check the archives. I've covered cases where people have had to convince the government that they're not dead, and it has taken years. Sometimes identity theft has messed up people's lives so badly that they've gotten into such a deep hole that they can't get out of, that they had nothing to do with the digging of. They had nothing to do with digging this hole, but now they're in it. Their life is ruined. They can't get work because everyone says they're a criminal. They're on all the lists. Their credit is terrible, and they can't get out of it. So they commit suicide. That's how bad identity theft can get. This is the worst. It's worse than a password breach. Worse than getting your credit card details. This is the most devastating thing that can happen to someone, is identity theft. What does it matter if they don't have your credit card data if they can take out a new credit card in your name? What does it matter if they didn't get your password when they can just create an account in any site they want that you're not on using your information, and now they're using an account that you don't know about, that you have no clue that's going on. And if that goes on for years and years and years and years and years before you find out about it, there might be very little you can do because that's the way the system's set up. So they say the motivation for the attackers appears to be entirely financial. It was a ransomware attack, $5 million, later reduced to $3.5 million. Discord spokesperson told The Verge that Discord will not reward those responsible for their illegal actions. Good for them. But the thing is, these are people who want money, and they don't care if it's a legal way of getting it. So do you really think they're not going to go selling these on the dark web, regardless of whether they were paid the ransom or not? Regardless of anything else, this information is going to sell. So what was Discord doing with all these photos of government IDs anyway? Well, it was to comply with the UK's new age verification law and Australia's upcoming one. And we've also got something like half of US states now have this age verification stuff going on. If a user felt they were wrongly banned for being too young, they could send a photo of their government-issued ID to help prove their age. It's this data that was allegedly stolen. And given Discord's 200 million active users, if even a small fraction of them had to go through the appeal process, that's potentially millions of IDs. Millions of people who are now at serious risk of the absolute worst cyber attack that can happen to someone. All because of governments. That a social media platform used primarily by gamers feels a need to collect this information shows how far the mission creep of age verification laws, whose stated purpose is to protect kids from pornography, has already spread. Yeah, because it never just stays what it is. It always expands. We've seen that over and over and over and over and over again. If they say, oh, it's just for this one thing, well, it won't be for long. Because as soon as politicians get their hands on a power, especially something that gives them power over you and lets them surveil what you're doing in your life, they're going to use it more and more and more places. Oh, you don't have to worry if you're not a porn site. This is just for porn sites. Oh, users are posting porn to Discord? Well, we might have to make Discord do that as well. Oh, users are posting nudie pictures to X? Well, we might have to make X do that as well. And Facebook and YouTube, and pretty soon it's everywhere. And don't think that wasn't the plan from the start. It was. The need to protect children from the many online harms is real, so it's understandable the governments around the world are keen to follow the UK's newly enforced age verification law. The problem is, governments don't know how to protect you. They don't. They are stupid and incompetent at this. Australia is a perfect example of this. They had a gun massacre, and what was their response? To pass the most restrictive gun control legislation in the world. Another massacre happens, restricted even further. And we just had another one. We just had yet another gun massacre. And what are the politicians saying now? We need to control guns even harder now. You can't rely on governments to protect you. They can't and won't. Data breaches have become such a daily drumbeat that we hardly even notice news headlines about yet another high-profile company leaking millions of people's personal details. And there has never been any reason to suppose that the uniquely sensitive age verification data would be immune from such leaks, a point dramatically proven by this incident. Again, cybersecurity experts said this from the start. I said it from the start! This was going to happen. I told you, this was not a matter of if, but when. Well, when is now. So when are you people going to start listening? This means even if you approve of age verification laws in principle, they should not be implemented before genuinely secure, decentralized, open standard solutions that genuinely respect your privacy are developed and made widely available. Or people realize the government is not there to help them, cannot help them, does not care about them, and wants to do whatever they can to surveil every single moment of your life. They don't care about the bad things that happen to you because they are the bad things that happen to you. Never forget that. Thank you so very much for watching. Comments for the comment god, shares for the share throne. Please hit like, subscribe, and the bell, and of course, donate.pagosity.tv keeps me doing what I do, whether it's one-time donations with PayPal, Venmo, cryptocurrency, or regular support with Patreon, Subscribestar, or Discord, where you can get these videos early and ad-free. Other benefits as well, including AMAs and a monthly live stream, which we'll be having one more before the end of the year, so be sure to stick around for that. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, stay strong and be free.